Good evening, Rain Nation. Welcome to our North American Leadership Academy. I'm John Acosta, and I'll be your host this evening. It is beautiful weather down here in Houston, Texas. It's wonderful to see people logging in from all over North America. If you haven't shared in where you're calling from, let us know so we can see where everyone is from. And you know what? While we're at it, tell me how the weather is. Why not? Also, a reminder that this training is also translated to Spanish. This leadership training we do for the field every week. You may have been invited as a guest. This is a no pressure way to eavesdrop in, see how the biz is done, what kind of support you will receive, and make better decisions for the biz if it's right for you. You will learn about our company, the products, the campaign, the plan, leadership tips and ideas, and hear from real stories and real people. To kick things off tonight, I'm going to send it over to Mr. Vernon Connor in Amarillo, Texas. He's going to teach us all about beat. Over to you, Mr. Connor.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that introduction. I'm Vernon Connor. I'm from Amarillo, Texas. And I just wanted to share with you mere fact that we are a category creator. Some years ago, when I got into product, when I got into Rain came my way. Uh, they only had a couple of products. Of course, being a category creator, we can see that that number has increased quite 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 a bit, and we're excited about seed source nutrition. As you can see, everything that you see on the screen right now is categorized as seeds and also the extent to whereas they create fruit or vegetables. And as you see on the bottom of that screen, 20 to 30 times more potent than the fruit or the vegetable that it produces. Of course, we're here to talk about an exciting product, which is one of the latest or the latest product that was created, which is the beet. As you look at this beet, of course, on the screen coming up, it shows, and I didn't want to just see it on the screen, see, because being a part of Rain, we have to be a product of the product. And this is the ultimate cardiovascular powerhouse. I had a procedure done a few years ago because of the very thing that this product does. It helps us to have a better circulatory system. Of course, when we think about circulatory system, uh, really heart attacks is one of the number one killers in the world. So we need to have flow in our system as far as blood flow. Now, the next two products that are coming up is part of this the beet product. Uh, Sometimes one and one equals three, and that's the case combining these next two products, which is beetroot and L-arginine. We know that having a healthy heart track uh, keeps us around here. We got to have that ticker working, because if that ticker ain't working, we ain't working. Beetroot is an optimal cardiovascular uh, supporter, and L-arginine is also real important. As you can see there, it says it supports prostate, and a lot of times we don't go and get our prostate checked, but it's important that we do because it can cause problems down the road. Of course, the other thing we probably need to check too, at my age especially, we need to know that sexual health is something that a lot of people miss out on because they don't have the right supplements to make things tick like they need to be ticking down there. So we're excited about beta alanine as well. It increases strength, endurance, and of course, one of the things that we need uh, as we age, we need more endurance. We need speedy recovery. when we run out of energy and everything. So beta alanine is one of the really important ingredients. Of course, bamboo, it helps to have protect uh, uh, us from bacterial, antiviral, and antifungal, and the properties that causes us to clog up and not operate in the correct manner. So when we think about beet, beet is a really major product that we've come out with, and I'm excited about beet. 2 scoops of beet every day keeps the doctors away. Grapeseed there combats loss of moisture. As you can look at me and see me as far as being in my mid 60s, late 60s almost. I know that you're looking at my skin and wondering how is this guy. And then we talk about the grapeseed because it combats loss of moisture for elastic skin. So it gives us a lot smoother skin. So that's a great product to have in there. And of course, the cranberry seed helps maintain normal state of urinary tract. I had some challenges going on about a week ago, and some of those things weren't really working as good as they needed to be working. So we're grateful for the fact that we had a product that can help us to be able to have a smooth urinary tract and reproductive system. Those are things that are important to a long life. We also want to talk to you about the ultimate cardiovascular powerhouse, which promotes heart health, circulation, and all the things we need for our ticker to work at a maximum levels. Helps maintain a healthy libido. That libido, we got to have it working for us. So we thank Rain for providing us with these products and category creators like the beat. The beat goes on. And we know that that's exactly what we want for our lives, to have products that we can rely on, that keep us in ultimate health. Of course, the ultimate cardiovascular powerhouse supports our immune system. We've got to have a good immune system to have a good life. It improves, and I know John is an athlete. At one time, I was too, but but we know that it's important that we have the right products to give us ultimate health, and it supports a healthy blood pressure levels. And we know that we live in a world today that whereas we are all malnutrition. And when we have seed nutrition going into our body, it gives us an opportunity to add value to our lives. So we are grateful for the resources. As you see this page here, and as you see, I've got copies of some of these things that I've used to do this presentation today. So we thank Rain for coming up with the materials and all of the resources that's necessary for us to put the information, the right kind of information out there. So we're excited about, as we already said, uh, this beet product. The beet must go on. So we appreciate you having us today.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And up next, we're going to talk about leverage. Leverage is the concept that drives our business and the superpower of wealth building. I'm going to send it over to the person who introduced me to this concept, my business partner, Isabella Costa. Take it away.
Thank you, John. What a cool kid, I have to say. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Vernon. I'm going to share my slides super quick. I get to talk about one of the funnest parts of our business, harnessing leverage, the superpower of wealth, because that's what fuels our business. That's how we make money. So it's important to understand how this works, especially if you're a guest. We're not going to go through everything that you need to know, but my goal here is for you to get an idea of why leverage is the thing to harness, why leverage needs to be in your life. and why possibly this is the right business for you. The goal with us, the Rain, is not just to have a side business that's going to bring you some extra bucks so you can live a little more comfortable life. But the goal that we have here with Rain is to build your ultimate lifestyle business so that you're just loving what you're doing. And along with having fun, and it's bringing in the money. So let's break down how leverage creates residual income. The smart thing to do is to start a business that there's a need that you need to service in the community. What's going to guarantee, though, that you are successful in your business is that you're in a business that is in front of the megatrends. And it's just going to be a win-win situation. Social entrepreneurship. Let's start with that, and let's touch on that really quick. When you're making a difference, when you're running a business that you are creating lasting change for others, it's just going to make you be less stress-free. When you're actually making a difference, you're just going to live a better life. You're going to feel good about what you're doing, is the words that I'm looking for. A healthy lifestyle. Whether you're a teenager or 20-year-old that has been working out and doesn't eat sugar for the last 6 years, or you're a 54-year-old that has made running half marathons a habit, all of us, everyone, no matter how old you are, we want to live a healthier life because we want to be around for a long time. Psychic economy. I took Uber for about a couple of months. I had an Uber back and forth, and everybody that I chatted with that was my Uber driver was driving extra hours while their kids were off in basketball or some kind of practice, or after hours or early in the morning, because I was getting Uber 5 o'clock in the morning because they were trying to make a little extra money in order to buy a house. The food delivery, I forget what it's called. Food delivery are a big hit. There's always going to be someone, your neighbor has a little side business, whether if it's washing cars, everybody's doing something on the side because of the state of our economy. And social media marketing, if enough said, I mean, there's nothing else to explain there. Social media, I mean, that's social media, nothing else to say. But with Rain, it's not just about having a side gig, like I mentioned in the beginning. It's about building the ultimate side business. And what does that mean? Being able to choose the hours that you want to work, not being forced that I have to get out at 5 a.m. to Uber, because that's when I get to take people to the airport. Choosing the people that you want to work with. If we all of us that have a 9-to-5 job, how we wish we could choose the people we want to work with. And then having unlimited earning potential, because those of us that are working, we're trading hours for money in this limited how many hours we have in the day, because our job is not our whole life. We have a life that we need to live out there. And then becoming successful by empowering others to have a good life because of their business. To me, that's just a dream. Exotic travel opportunities with Rain. So be honest. Turkey, September, our convention. How many of us are planning to go, and how many of us would have never even imagined traveling to Turkey if it wasn't that our convention is there? But that's not all. Not only do you get to travel to conventions, with Rain, you get to earn trips, and you get to make friends across the world when your business are spreading, because we're an international business. So what a great opportunity to travel, because you're building a business. And it could be a tax deduction. Earn while you're asleep. I mean, talk about the potential earning possibilities. When you start building a network across the world, in every corner of the world, you go to sleep and people on the other side of the world are sleeping and working their business. You wake up and all of a sudden there's volume in your back office because people were working while you were asleep. I mean, when you are making money 24/7, you're truly harnessing leverage. Social entrepreneurship, building wealth while doing good is what we do. So what do all these people here have in common? They have harnessed the power of leverage. They leverage their their network, they leverage their money, they leverage tools, they leverage their talents to work smarter, not harder. But what if we don't have the network or of powerful people? What if we don't have uh, the money or skills? The good news is that you found rain. And now we're going to show you how you can either employ leverage, or you're going to work somebody that uses that does. So with Rain, we're going to help you, even if you don't have the talent of storytelling to write a book, how to use leverage. Okay, so this is where it gets fun, because this is how leverage works. Play a super quick game with me. Okay, put a finger down if you leave for work when it's still dark and you come back when it's already dark. Put your finger down if you work overtime because you need the money, but you'd rather be home with your kids. Put a finger down if your check is spent and gone before it even hit the bank. Put a finger down if you worked hard all year and you know you deserve a raise, but first you have to do a self-evaluation and prove to them that you need a raise. Should we keep going? You get what I'm saying. We work hard. We work 40, 45, maybe even 50 hours a week for our money. And we are limited to the hours that we can work, and money is still not enough. So how do we use leverage in our business? Well, we came in excited, and because we're excited about our business and we believe in our mission, we're going to carve out 15 hours a week. Maybe in your lunch break, you're going to sit in your car and you're going to work your business. Maybe when your kids are watching TV after dinner, you're going to sit on the sofa or the kitchen table and you work your business. And then you have Saturday and Sunday all day, right? So you're going to carve out 15 hours a week. And more importantly, you're going to follow the system, because you're going to leverage the skills and the talents of your upline. You're going to leverage all the tools, and you're going to leverage the system. And because you're following this system, now you introduce this business to a neighbor or coworker or the Uber driver that you were chatting with just last week. And now you brought in two people, and they're doing the same thing. They're carving out 15 hours each. Leverage. 15 hours of yours just turn into 45 hours. We're going to plug them into the system, and they're going to do the same thing. Those two people are going to bring two people each. And now those 45 hours turn into 105 hours. Listen to that. 105 hours from your 15 hours a day. And what is the next number? Grab your calculator, because if you keep going 1,500 and on and on and on, because you duplicated the system, you duplicated the tools, you duplicated the talents that's available to you, and your 15 hours are now working for you. Isn't that beautiful? Leverage. So, okay, we have a team. Now what? Well, now we are going to get to know the comp plan. 9 ways to get paid. I can talk all day about this, and it took me a little while to understand it. The most important thing to know about let me say that better. The way that you're going to learn about our pay plan is for you to earn those commissions. That's really when you're going to get it, when that money starts hitting your account. Customer awards. Customers is the heart of our business. So first of all, there's a great system to encourage our customers to buy, because without customers, we don't exist, right? And customers are also your team members. So there's a reward there, from $10 off on their first order to earning points towards free product. As you're starting your business, the question that you're going to be tempted to ask is, how much do I invest to get started? You are asking the wrong question. It's not how much do I need to invest to get started. It's how fast can I earn the money back? Enter for a fast start commission. There's commissions in place for you to start getting your money back. In most of the packages, the 3 packages that are available, bring in, I had to do the math in my, bring in 3 to 5 people and you make your money back. So, but what is the question that you're going to ask? How fast can I make my money back because there's bonuses there as soon as you start working your business. And as soon as you start elevating, going up in the pay plan, you start earning special bonuses. And then when you get to a certain level in your business, the company is going to prove to you that the company believes in you. How? By qualifying for the pools. So the beautiful thing about the pools that I love is that once you reach a certain level, you get a piece of the pie. So the company is going to start a pool of all the global sales in the whole company. Global sales, not just the sales of your team, but the global sales. And as long as you're qualifying with the same title, you're going to get a little piece, 1% of that pie. When you get to diamond pool, which is all of our goals, we all want to be diamond, you start, that little piece of the pie gets a little bigger, 1.5%. And then, of course, team commissions, and then generational matching bonus. What does that mean? That means that your people that brought you into the team, not just the person that introduced you, but their business partners and their business partners have a vested interest in making sure that you succeed because there's matching bonuses for us to earn. And so, I mean, how beautiful. My manager, not to talk bad about my management here, because I love my manager, but my management doesn't get rewarded for my work. So when you're working for a corporation, their goal is not to make sure that you advance. Their goal is to make sure that they're aligning themselves to advance, because the competition is brutal in corporate, but not in Rain. In Rain, the company is going to invest in you with those pools, and your leadership above you is also going to invest in you by leveraging their talent, their skills, their time, their training to make sure that you advance. So the magic of leverage is beautiful. There's tools available for you in order to, from a one sheet to a whole book, if you really want to dig into the compensation plan to understand it better. But I'm going to say it again. The best way that you're going to understand the compensation plan is when you start earning those bonuses. When the money starts hitting your bank, that's when you start saying, I get it now. I have to work harder. So that's it for me. Back to you, John. Let me stop sharing. Thank you, everyone, and welcome.
Thank you, Mom. And now for our favorite part of the program. We always like to feature real people and give them an opportunity to share their story. First, let me introduce you to Mr. Ivan Eccles.
Thanks, John. Hello, Rain family. My name's Ivan Eccles, and I'm self-employed. I live in Fort Pierce, Florida. I've always looked for better ways to make money and work less hours. About 4 months ago, I was introduced to Rain by Debbie and Randy. After 4 months, leverage kicked in, and I started making money, and I feel amazing. I would like to thank my Rain family and say, go Rain. Tammy. Now to Tammy.
You're muted, Tammy.
Hello, Wayne family. My name is Tammy Benton, and I want to start off by saying that I'm excited to be here and to hear all this wonderful testimony about the Rain product. I live in Amarillo, Texas. I am a food service manager. I've got 30 employees under me, and it gets stressful. It's long hours throughout the day. Um, I'm taking the product, and I do share the product, and I need to apply myself a little bit more about getting more time invested to sell the product, but I do, and I use that to make discounts on the products that I use. I'm paying little or nothing, so I get to enjoy the product and hardly paying anything. It's a great product, and I recommend it to everyone. Thank you, and it's to Priscilla.
Hello, everyone. I am Priscila Borges. It is an honor to be here with you tonight. Thank you. I am a teacher from Puerto Rico. I have also been passionate about educating, inspiring, and empowering others. As fulfilling as teaching is, it also comes with challenges like being underpaid and undervalued. That's why I started looking for a way to create financial prosperity without sacrificing my purpose. That's when I found Rain International. Rain is not just business, it's giving me the ability to create an additional source of income, relieve financial stress, and regain control of my future. I have discovered products that make a difference in people's health and well being. My mission now is to help others see their worth and their potential to create a life of abundance. I am Priscilla and I am Rain. Back to you.
Thank you, everybody. And for this last major segment is dedicated to leadership training. Guys, I'm excited about this. I don't know about you guys, but we have the honor of having a great trainer. He fronted the group Emotion and then as a solo artist. Had his work in movies like Scarface, which by the way is my favorite movie, the Olympics, and the World Cup in Rome, Italy. He is no stranger to success and has enjoyed a steady leverage income, most of his life. The chance to continue this leverage income was a key component that piqued his interest in the Rain International. And since joining Rain, Paul has risen through the ranks as a diamond elite with teams in Canada, US, Mexico, Norway, Sweden, and much more. So please help me welcome Mr. Paul Ingman. Or do you?
Oh boy, that's thank you for that very lovely introduction. Well, it's really a pleasure to be with you this evening. I wanted to share with you, this is we're in such a simple business, and it's really just sharing with people, and we have such a terrific system now. It's just, plug and play, very, very easy. Anybody can do this. That being said, uh, there are going to be some times where you come up against some challenges. And so we got to be real about that. And I wanted to share with you just some of my experience. I've been full-time in network marketing, I can't believe it, for about 20 years now. And in all humility, I've made a lot of money in the industry, and I've helped create millionaires in my teams. That is really gratifying. So I've learned a few things over the years that I'd like to share with you. So let me share my screen here. And this is a little presentation about, now let's see, can you see my screen? Because for some reason you all disappeared, but I want to make sure.
We can see you.
Perfect. Okay. So this is a little bit about dealing with some objections that kind of come up pretty frequently in network marketing. So before diving into like how to sort of handle some of these, I would challenge you not to create them. So you might go, well, how would I create an objection? Well, think about it. What do you think is the number one objection that you are currently receiving when you talk to people about Rain? What is it? You're going to be surprised to know that it's going to be pretty much different for everybody. And it's the one thing that you're worrying about and thinking about the most. You're creating that objection because you're worrying about it so much. It's got to show up because you're putting so much energy into it. People dance to the music that you provide. And so, if you feel nervous, then they're going to feel nervous. If you have a belief that the product is expensive, they're going to think that. If you think nobody has any money, you're going to come across every broke person in the world. If you think it's hard to sponsor, it will be. And if you think you're bothering people, they will be bothered. And it's not about them, it's about you. And I call that the gold Lexus SUV phenomenon. In 2000, the year 2000, that's a bit ago, I bought my first Lexus ever. It was a gold Lexus SUV. I loved it. And on my way home from the dealership, all of a sudden, it was as if everybody in the world had bought one. I was noticing my car everywhere. There's my car. There's my car. There's one. There's one. There's one. What had happened? Did everybody rush to the dealership because I bought a car? No, my perspective had changed because that's what I was noticing. That's what was in my head. So that also happens when we are sort of interfacing with people, looking for prospects, talking to people. It's about us. So we got to make sure that we're not creating those objections. So let's say that you and I are driving down the road in my beautiful gold Lexus SUV with one of your prospects, and we've painted a beautiful picture of rain and success in rain and health with rain. And all of a sudden, splat, an objection appears on the windshield like a squished bug. They can't see that beautiful picture in front of them anymore. And, we can still see it, but they can't. So it's really imperative that we get that windshield wiper going. We get the bug off the windshield. We handle that objection. But the manner in which we respond is crucial. And if we become defensive, that's not a good thing. So we don't want to become insecure about it or get combative about it or get all freaked out because they asked a question or, heaven forbid, become angry or homicidal just because somebody asked a question. Actually, the purpose for handling objections, believe it or not, it's not really to get that person in your business. I mean, that could be the ultimate thing that happens. But the purpose is to get your prospect past whatever it is that's stopping them from getting what they want. It's very important. If people think that we're talking to them and we're giving them answers based on something selfish for us, based on we're going to have a financial windfall if they join our business, that's a turnoff and they will stop listening to us. Our goal really is to just help them reframe what it is that they're thinking about through education and through a deeper understanding. So that's really what our activity should be. I'm never threatened if somebody has an objection or asks kind of a little bit of a harder question. It just means they're paying attention. They've allowed me to get that far. They've had enough interest. And so I see this as an opportunity. See, we're in the business of helping the blind see. A lot of people have blind spots when it comes to network marketing or our business as we're presenting it. So our job is to reframe that. See, people don't see the world at it as it is. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. And that's because of experiences that we've had. And so we have an experience, we draw a conclusion about what that meant in our life, what those results were. Was it painful? Was it happy? Was it good? And we construct our worldview out of all those experiences. And then when something comes along that's new to us, then we kind of judge it based upon the worldview that we've constructed. So some people looking at that picture on the left are going to see two people in silhouette facing each other. Others are going to see a black vase right there. Because of their experience. Some people are going to look at that picture on the right and see a guy with a big nose in profile playing a saxophone, and others are going to see a woman's face in full view. Not because of anything about the picture, but because of what they're bringing to that picture. So I'm going to give you some tactics to deal with specific things, but the most important thing and the deeper thing is to arm you with some concepts that you can apply in a lot of different situations. What we need to understand, first of all, is that most objections, pretty much 100% of them, come from someone else's fear. And there's really sort of two categories that I've come across in my experience in network marketing. Either they have limiting beliefs about their own abilities, or they have limiting beliefs about network marketing and its ability to provide for them what they need. And the best concept to deal with this is empathy. And one of the great tactics for expressing empathy and kind of re-educating and reframing is you share your story. You help people understand that you were them. Gosh, I can understand how you felt that way because I was you, and sharing your story is really like the nuclear weapon in your arsenal. If you don't have a story that really kind of maybe deals with a specific situation, share somebody else's story. I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but who are you the closest to? Are you the closest to people who have kind of shown you behind the curtain? They've given you the honor of seeing their warts? Or are you closer to people that just present a perfect picture all the time? It's obviously the former, right? C.S. Lewis, the Anglican theologian, once said, friendship is born in that moment when one person says to another, what? You too? I thought I was the only one. When we're real with people, they relax because they see themselves. So, a great way of dealing and reframing this is something called feel, felt, found. Gosh, I can understand why you might feel that way. I actually felt the same way, but I have found that blank, blank, blank. So, that's a really great way of kind of helping people to reframe. But it's very important that we're listening. Dr. Stephen Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, in the 5th habit said, seek first to understand and only then to be understood. Most people listen to respond. And I know I've done it. I'm sure you have. Like you're listening to somebody, you're going, okay, I know what I'm going to say next, right? And we're not really listening. So to be effective in this industry, we really have to understand where people are and meet them where they are. And so it's very important that we listen closely and fully, that we don't interrupt because we've got some snappy canned answer that's ready. And you got to understand that many questions and objections that somebody might have contain a second layer. It's like a hidden objection in there. So it's important to listen closely. I'll give you an example. I was talking to a guy once and I was explaining Rain and the business and everything. And he just kept saying, well, I just can't see myself doing that. Oh my gosh, no, I don't think I can see myself doing that. And he said that so many times that I finally had to say, well, let me ask you, what is the that you are imagining? So that he could tell me, what are you, what is that? And he says, oh, I can't do like cold calling and knocking on doors and talking to a lot of strangers. And I can't see myself doing that. Well, then I could say, gosh, I can understand how you would feel that way. I when I didn't have a lot of understanding about network marketing, I kind of felt the same way. But what I have found is that's not the business at all. That's not what we do. And then I could educate him into understanding. So what I first did was I would confirm with him. I would say, listen, so let me understand. You don't see yourself doing this business because you feel that you wouldn't want to cold call people and you wouldn't want to knock on doors and just talk to a whole bunch of strangers. Is that right? Once I've confirmed that, then I'm going to validate him, the prospect, not the objection. I'm just going to say, I can understand how you would feel that way. I felt the same way myself, but I have found that, and now we're going to go into reframing it. So let's go over a couple of these categories. Let's look at what some of those limiting beliefs might be. Limiting beliefs about the prospect, their own kind of insecurities might be things like, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have the personality, I'm not a salesperson, I don't know anyone, I'm too old, I'm too young, I have no experience. So let's take a couple of them. Let's take, I don't have the money. Well, I don't know if you were in this position. I've certainly met people who've been in this position and who've made money in our business, but share that story. So let's say it's you. You could say, you know what? I completely relate. I can totally understand how you feel because I felt the same way. I looked at this business and I thought, gosh, I don't have the money to do this. But then I got angry about that and I thought, gosh, if I keep doing the same thing, I'm going to keep getting the same result. And so, you know what I did? I decided, heck, I'm going to find a way. And I held a garage sale and I got the money and, I joined this business. It's the best decision I ever made. And I made my money back within the first month. So I was ahead of the game there. So let me ask you, if I could show you a way, if you truly believed that this was a way that you could take a hold of your financial future and control it, would that change the way that you were looking at this? Would you have some interest then? Okay, that's one. Let's look at I have no experience. Well, let me tell you, I was terrified of network marketing when I first got involved. I can completely understand how you might feel, gosh, I really need to know a lot about this before I get involved. I didn't know anything. I actually hid my kit in my car, in the trunk of my car, and didn't want to think about it for weeks. And my sponsor said, Paul, look, you don't have to be an expert. All you have to do is share a video And then I'll help you answer other people's questions, and you will learn by listening to me. And that's exactly what happened. And then now here we are. So does that put your mind at ease about perhaps not needing to be an expert? Okay, so those are a couple. Now let's talk about limiting beliefs about network marketing. Those might be things like I hate I hate MLMs. I don't want to bother people. Is that a pyramid scheme? The top guy makes all the money. Nobody makes any money. I'll lose all my friends. So let's take I don't like network marketing. That's kind of a big daddy. Now, if I come across somebody where there's like a lot of emotion attached to that statement, I know that they've probably had a bad experience. Maybe they were in network marketing. So I'm going to say, oh my gosh, sounds like you've got a story. Tell me what happened, you know? And I'm just going to let them talk. I'm going to let them get it out. And you'll watch, it's like deflating a balloon. They kind of get it out of themselves. And they're also going to tell you what it was that bothered them, maybe a mistake that they made, or some kind of erroneous belief that they held that tripped them up. And then you can deal with that as it comes. What I get a lot of times with people like this is, I promise myself never again. And so I might say, you know, gosh, if that had happened to me, I would feel exactly the same way. But let me ask you something. Do you think that every opportunity deserves to be kind of looked at by its unique variables? Because I have to tell you, sort of listening to you, it reminds me of somebody that maybe had a bad meal in a restaurant, maybe a bad plate of spaghetti, and then they said, you know what? I'm never eating in a restaurant again because all restaurants are bad. And I think you can see how kind of that's an exaggeration, but don't you think you deserve to look at each opportunity for its unique variables? Would you agree? So that's one way of handling that. Now, if it doesn't show up with a lot of emotion, if the person just says, well, I don't like network marketing, I'm going to ask them, well, tell me, what is it about network marketing that you don't like? Once again, they're going to share with me probably a lot of false conclusions that they've drawn because of experiences, real or imagined, that they've had. And typically I find that these are the people who've had the visit from somebody who I call Uncle Clueless. Okay, this is somebody who went to an opportunity meeting, got super excited, and then showed up on your front doorstep. They're going to sell you. They're going to make exaggerated claims about products and earning potential. They're going to promise you that you're going to get rich quickly. You're not going to have to do any work, or they're going to twist your arm and try to guilt you into things because you owe them or whatever. They just are determined you're going to be in that business if it kills them or you. So they might try begging you into it. But let me ask you, if you experience that, if you've ever had that experience, how did it leave you feeling? And would you ever do that to anybody else? Now, the irony is that network marketing is based on you going and doing to somebody else what I just did to you. And if what I just did to you was that, you won't do that because you're a nice person and that was icky, right? So there's got to be a wrong way, which we just talked about, and a right way to do this. And we teach people the right way. See, it's based on duplication. Nobody wants to do what this guy did because their friends would run from them at parties and warn the entire neighborhood about them. But network marketing is a $180+ billion a year industry, so it can't be based on that. It would not duplicate, it could not grow if that's what it was. So it's not about trying to pressure anybody into anything. But then they might say, well, then why have so many people had that experience? Well, you know, gosh, it's because people do get excited about what they hear. And we have exciting products and we have exciting opportunities, and it takes absolutely no education is required to sign an application. But if people don't get a little bit of training, if they don't really understand what the game is, and if they don't use the system, what's going to happen is the scenario of disaster where, you know, unsuspecting prospect is just living their life, walking down the street when along comes excited new distributor, and without any regard for the timing or without creating any rapport with that person, without understanding any of their wants or needs or desires or dreams, they just start spewing info at them. And it's kind of like puking your business all over them. And typically it just does not end well You know, that's not an effective way of sharing. And then the worst part is that person walks away from that interaction thinking they have just experienced network marketing. And gosh, I hate that. I never want to do that. Well, they didn't experience network marketing. They experienced a very well-intended person who just didn't understand what they were about and who needed a little training. It always blows my mind that in a business where you can earn millions of dollars like this, people think they need no training at all. It would be like me saying, you know what? I've just decided I'm a pilot. I'm going to run down to Delta and hop in a plane and start pushing buttons. Well, I don't know how well that might work out. So we just need to follow the system. We have a fantastic system here. All right, let's talk about, is this one of those pyramid schemes? Okay, I'm sure maybe you've gotten that. I just always ask, what do you mean by that? And they're either going to mean one of two things. They're going to mean the guy at the top makes all the money, or they're going to mean, well, isn't that kind of sort of like one of those dodgy, sort of illegal kind of businesses? So let's take the guy at the top makes all the money. I might ask them a couple of questions. What's he on top of, and how'd he get there? He's built a business. And would you agree that if he's built a business, that he deserves to profit from that business? Of course. But the people that hold this belief, they've got the mistaken belief that your position is what matters the most. And so I'm going to also let this person know that, gosh, you know, there's somebody on my third level who's made more money than me, $1 million more than me, believe it or not. So if the position matters the most and the person is below me in my chart, how did that happen? It happened because position is not what matters. Activity is what matters. And if you can build a business that's, you know, if you have more activity and if you build a more balanced business more quickly, you're going to make more money than the person who brought you in. And that's fair. You might say, yeah, but it looks like a pyramid. Well, okay, you know, pyramids are some of the most strong structures on earth. It is why the pyramids of Giza are still standing. All right. And if you look at the structure of many things, you know, your family is a pyramid. Your church is a pyramid. Your school is a pyramid. And most certainly, if you work in corporate America, that's a pyramid because you've got, you know, maybe thousands, if you're in a big company, of hardworking employees who will never, ever in a million years become the CEO of that company. In network marketing, what's so cool about it is it's an inverted pyramid. And what I mean by that is everybody starts out at the bottom, but there's room at the top for everybody. Everybody can achieve CEO status. That's fair. It's win-win. It's a moral business. And I can't succeed unless I help my people succeed. Does that sound like a pyramid scheme to you? Okay. The second thing they might believe is that it's, you know, kind of, they get this idea that it's, oh, it's a dodgy, sort of shady business. Well, let me tell you, there are pyramid schemes out there that they might look like a network marketing business, but they're not. There's a vast difference between the two. In a pyramid scheme, the product is the money. You're paid for recruiting, and your position does determine your pay, and you're promised big dollars for little effort. In a legitimate network marketing business like ours, there are legitimate products that are sold inside and outside the network. You're paid for the product consumption that happens. You can out earn your sponsor, and it requires real and consistent effort. Also, you might want to consider that network marketing is legal in the US and 70 plus countries. And for more than 50 years, it has been repeatedly upheld as a legal business model in both state and federal courts. Now, another objection that comes up that's sort of related to that idea that you got to be the first guy in is somebody say, oh gosh, but you know, if network marketing is so wonderful, then everybody will join, and you got to be the first guy because it's going to get all saturated, and the last guy is going to get hurt. Let me tell you, I've been doing network marketing for 20 years, and I've made millions of dollars, but I'm still trying to saturate my cul-de-sac. Okay, so saturation is kind of a myth. There are 50-year-old companies that that have been around for that long that are billion-dollar companies, and you're not a member of that company, and neither are about 6 billion other people. So saturation is kind of a myth. You also might want to consider that there was a really great leader who recruited 12 other really great leaders, and they've been holding weekly meetings and one-on-ones for over 2,000 years, and they still haven't gotten everybody to join. Okay, so saturation is a myth. Another objection is I don't have the time. Some people, really that's a factor for them. Gosh, I can understand how you might feel that way. I felt the same way too, but I found that I can fit this business into the corners of my life. It's very simple to share. If I'm out to lunch, I can share a packet with somebody. And think about it. How many times have you recommended a movie or a lawyer or a book or, some business? Did you get paid for that? Here you can. And it's just a natural part of life. Another thing that I, show them is that it's so simple to share because of technology. We've got this fabulous app where you can just tap it, boom, you've got a video, and it just takes hardly any time at all, if by the tap of a finger, anywhere in the world. Another question that helps to overcome this is, well, let me ask you, if time were not an issue, what things that you love would you be doing now, which you can't do now? People love to say, oh gosh, I'd sail more. I'd love to travel more. I'm a skier. Whatever their hobby might be. They love to talk about that. And then I might ask them, well, why can't you do more of that? And then they're going to educate me that somebody owns a whole bunch of their day. Somebody else does because they work, right? So of course, they're going to spend 8 hours sleeping. That's pretty average. They're going to spend 8 hours working on average, sometimes more. And then they got about 8 hours left to do everything else, whether that's being with their family, cleaning their house, paying their bills, shopping, whatever they need to do. But I asked them, what if I could show you a way where just by fitting this business into the corners of your life and applying leverage, which we've talked about a little bit earlier, you could buy back some of those working hours? Would that be something that would be attractive to you? Because let me tell you what happened to me. When I first got into network marketing, I did it very part-time. I figured I'll do this part-time serious. And I worked for about 1.5 years. But because I was consistent in 1.5 years, my income from my network marketing business surpassed my full-time income. And at that point, I was able to just say to my family, hey, let's go on vacation. Let's go to South America. And we disappeared to Peru for a month. And while I was gone, my business grew and my income grew by 5 figures that month. Why? Because I had taught enough people how to fit it into the corners of their life using a simple system. Would that be something that would be attractive to you? All right, here's another one. I'm not a good salesperson. I love this one because I have fun with it. I say, oh, well, thank heavens, because if you were, I'd have to beat it out of you. I'd have to help you unlearn everything that you learned about that, because sales is really kind of not what we do. Would it surprise you to learn that there's people from all different walks of life in network marketing, and most of them are not slick salespeople from all sorts of different backgrounds. But the number one most represented demographic in network marketing is educators. And I think that is because educators are already trained to do what it is that we do: share a simple, important message in a clear fashion. You communicate it well through education, and then you allow that person to see if and how it serves them and at what level. That's really all this is. See, we're just looking for people who are looking. We're not trying to force anybody into anything or sell them into anything. Now, here's a caveat. A lot of times I see people making this mistake. They'll take somebody through the process and they'll get them almost there, and then instead of just asking for the close, instead of saying something like, hey, so listen, after you've seen all this, if you were to get started today, which package do you think might be best for you? They just kind of keep giving people facts. They don't want to stop. It's like they're scared to ask for the close, and they think, I'll find this one magic thing that I'll say. I'll tell them something about the science or the company or when it was founded or the founder or the processing or whatever. And then they're just going to say, that's it. I'm in. I got to tell you, it doesn't happen. You got to ask for the close. And what happens is if you get caught in that trap, They're going to say, well, gee, Paul told me that I didn't have to be a salesman to do this business, but here he is selling me. I'm not sure I believe him anymore. So just ask for the close. Another one, that's too expensive. All right. The most important question here is compared to what? I can understand how you might feel that way. When I first looked at the prices, I thought, well, I mean, that is a little more than I would have imagined. But what I have found is Soul is the equivalent of 7 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables. Most people don't get 7 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables. And what would it cost to do that every day? Soul is also the equivalent of 3 to 4 servings of essential fatty acids. How much would that cost? How much money am I saving because I'm healthier and I'm not visiting the doctor as often? What is my health worth? So you see how you can sort of reframe it that way. Also, what if I could show you how to get your product free every month? One of our testimonials talked about that, how she's getting that product pretty much free every month just by sharing with a few people. Now, if they say that's a lot of money to start a business, first of all, I'm going to suppress a chuckle, but I'm going to also compare it to franchises. If you were to start, if you want to have your own business, and really that's the key to wealth, working for somebody else, you're never going to really have true freedom. But if you wanted to start a franchise, that's anywhere from 20 to 100,000 plus just to start. And then you're going to be in debt for quite a while until you get profitable. Here, man, you can, boy, in the first week, you can be profitable. Another objection, that fear that people have is I'll run out of people to talk to, or I don't know a lot of people. Well, what's really interesting, if you talk to really anybody that's hit a diamond rank or above in any company, and you ask them, gosh, how did you get there? They're going to tell you that it wasn't because they recruited thousands of people. They're going to tell you it was 2 to 4 key people in my business that made all the difference. So you don't have to recruit thousands. You have to just recruit a few, help them to recruit a few, and the key people will emerge. Also, I thought, gosh, I've got in this phone here of mine, I've got how many contacts? Probably 2,000 plus. Social media, how many contacts do I have in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? Also, your contacts don't have to be local because of technology. And the average person knows 250 people. How do we know that? Because the average wedding is attended by 250 people, and so is the average funeral. So when you sponsor somebody into your business, it's not just them, you sponsor them and 250 possibilities because of all the people that they know. So do you really think that you're going to run out of people? I can understand how you feel that way. I felt that way, and I have found that. So you can just frame it that way. So, I hope now that you feel that listening to your prospects, really carefully listening to them, understanding their true question or objection, reframing it, is something that's important. I hope that you have I hope you felt that this was a good use of your time. I most certainly have found it to be very valuable in my business. So go out and use these tools and make it rain. Thanks, guys. And I'm going to pass it back to John.
Thank you, Mr. Ingman, for that lovely, lovely presentation. And some of the animation was pretty funny as well. But I also learned a lot. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And also, thank you to everybody here joining us tonight. It was a pleasure hosting and spending time with you all. And to even our panelists, thank you, everybody. This was a great night. To our associates, build on this, create a great week. Join us Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time at the Be the Breakthrough presentation and pack the house. If you are a guest, thank you so much for joining us. Please get back with the person who invited you, and we hope to see you next week with your guests. So thank you, everybody, and good night.
Great job, everyone. Thank you so much.
Shine bright like a diamond. like diamonds in the sky. Shine bright